Hello YouTube! My name is Stacy. I'm known here as Flightyrambler, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel today. Hello again friends, I'm glad to be presenting another video today, and I have some news to share about what I've been up to recently. First, I'm just admiring these nails right now. I really like this color combination of milky white and a shimmery pink. I think it looks really pretty, but this is not a nail video. Nope, it's actually an art journal with me project that I'm looking forward to. I have an idea of what I want to do. But first I wanted to share my news. I have explained that I had taken a break from creating art. I was in a creative slump, a depression even. So it had been, my last video that I posted on YouTube was last March. Recently I started creating again. The first few projects I didn't record, it was just for me to get back in my groove. And then I started recording and posting again, which has been a real good project for me to keep me busy. My mind off drama and get into that creative flow again. It's very it really gives me a sense of energy and purpose, and I really enjoy that. But when I started arting again, I reached for some supplies, and when I moved in, I put everything away. And I tucked it away, and I forgot where things were, and really I forgot what I had. For instance, I have amassed a collection of lace and trims from when I was doing a lot of thrifting. So it's tucked away in a closet behind some things. I dug them out, and I wondered how I was going to be able to give myself an opportunity to use them more often instead of be interrupting to go pick out something from the closet. The closet did get totally overhauled. I purged a lot. I filled up our garbage bin, half of our recycling bin, and I have a large basket and a bag full of donations of everything. I mean, I tore through my living space, my art space, my bedroom, the bathroom, the closet that I keep talking about. It's large and in charge, and it looks a lot better. It's more organized. I did my art cart, you know, that stacking cart that has wheels. It's very popular. I have one art cart and two for nails. The nail carts were just a mess, a huge mess. So I was able to reorganize it, sort it, and make it more usable. And in fact, I did my sister's nails the other day, and it was so easy to get to the supplies. It was a joy to use, really. So I'm really proud of the work, and like I said, the energy just keeps cycling through me, and hopefully it can reach out and infect you to do something of the same. I even went through my clothes, my closet and my dresser, purging everything in a way like the Marie Kondo way. If it doesn't spark joy, off it goes. And I have more room in my closet now, which is nice. And I also know what clothes I have because I went through everything and reminded myself of what I had. Similarly to my art supplies, like for my laces, I decided to take snippets of each lace and trim and bring it together in a collection that I could reach for more easily. So my solution was to go to Dollarama and pick up these wicker plastic baskets, take the snippets that I had made and fill these baskets so it's easy to look through and find what I want. This will be eyelash trim and rickrack. I think rickrack's in here. No, just eyelash trim. And these pieces shouldn't be in here. These should be in another one. So, yeah, laces and sequins and stuff, really fun stuff. Oh, there's the rickrack. Yeah, eyelash trim. This one is wide, and I sorted them by widths. So this is the wider ribbons, and in fact, I have some really wide ribbons. They get pretty wide down here, but at least I can reach for them more easily now. This one can go in here. This is the next size width, and all the colors, and it's all easy to look through. And they stack, so they sink into each other, so it isn't quite as big. So this goes in here. This is the thinner trims. Really cute stuff that I've collected, but I haven't used in forever. So that's fun. Seam binding and ribbons. What are you doing here? You go in here. They're jumping ship. So that's fun. And lastly, my appliques. These are leaves. Sorry, these are leaves. And then all of these beautiful appliques. So now they're all available, easily accessible, and they will be in my visual range. They'll just be over there, and I'll know that if I need it, they're right there, and I can use them. The same went for my embroidery threads. I've pulled some selections of the colors and have them in a little ball of threads available to pull from. The same was for my pencil crayons. I couldn't find them. I had to go on a hunt. They were found in the closet after I was purging. I found them tucked away in the bag. So I put them in this container. I didn't know how else to do it, so I'm just going to leave it here for now, like this for now. I'm not really happy with the way I color with pencil crayons, so I've been hesitant to use the coloring book after all. I'm going to grab this one because my scribble journaling today, I don't want it to be so bold and obvious, so I'll use a more neutral color. One of the things I kept reaching for were my pens. My Jelly Roll pens, Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens, all sorts of pens and markers. I kept reaching for them, and unfortunately some of them were dead. They were dried out, they couldn't be reconstituted, I couldn't get them working again, so I ended up having to sit down and go through my collection of markers and pens and such, and I have an extensive collection of everything. I ended up throwing away most of my Jelly Roll collection, a lot of my Pit Artists pens, quite a number of markers, all of my Uniball Signo broad white pens. I'm so disappointed because I never could get them to work, and a lot of people really enjoy them. So I'm disappointed that I spent a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money. I spent money on, those broad Uniball Signo broad white gel pens, and didn't have success with anything. Anyway, I purged a lot of things out of my pens and markers, brush markers and all that sort of thing. And I decided to store them in a way they're just right up here, right up there. I'll drag them in. Again, I went to the dollar store and picked out these baskets because they were stackable. And now I have access to all my pens, the ones that work. These are white markmaking tools, and these, oh my goodness, I forgot I had these were in a tin in the closet, and when I found them I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I had these, and I'm glad they're here, so I'll be able to use them. I've got acrylic paint markers, a set of them, and the Pit Artist pens that did survive. This set of chalk markers, I forgot I had it as well. I just haven't been through my supplies. I had to remind myself of what I had so that I could take advantage of it all. This set too, I forgot I had it. These are the fine tip Sharpie markers. And it was a pleasure to go through them all because now I look at all of this awesome supplies I have. The other thing I did is I went through some of my projects and I have them out and around to remind me and to stay in that creative space. I have some on the bulletin board. I have some in picture stands and things like that. So whenever I look around, I'm reminded of colors, of textures, of, oh yeah, that was a really fun idea. That was a good idea too. It just keeps me inspired. Now, a lot of my videos and a lot of my projects have been on index cards. How to store them has always I always had an idea in my head to use those Rolodex boxes, like these. I bought all of them at thrift stores. Like this one was $2, and it fits some. Right? I thought they were really neat looking and a nice way to store them. And I did a lot of index cards, but they weren't fitting. I have a lot of projects on index cards. Let me go this way. Like a lot of them. This is a collection of my art journal with me index cards. I think it's cute. It has this little thing. There's a lot in there. But they didn't like it. I had too many and I was outgrowing these. You know, I have a few index card projects, right? So I decided to use these baskets. They're ideal for what I have, and I have room to grow still, so that's good. And I put them up and around, and I've taken some projects out, and they're on display for me and whoever comes down to visit. What kicked off this whole frenzy of activity the last few days was my pens. Rollerball pens, gel pens, and my Sakura Jelly Roll pens was the first. That was the first thing I did. And since there's not many left, they're sorted elsewhere. I mean, I bought collections of Ink Joys, Bic Ink Joys, this Bic Easy Grip, or BU3 Grip, Bic Velocity pens. I have a collection of those as well. I just bought sets of them and, hoarded them. I wasn't using them because they were tucked away. They weren't available to me easily. For instance, like this is how I had my pens stored previously. It's in another basket like this, stuffed full of my stamps. These things were full, and it was a really good project for me to go through and purge. It felt really good to get rid of, the dead weight, so to say. And this was the nucleus for, all the work I've done. And it feels good. It feels really good. I'm more confident in my supplies. I know where things are. I know what I have. With that being said, I want to create an art journal project today. So I'm just going to put all this away and get myself resituated. Wow, I went on a ramble, didn't I? Wow, I am a flighty rambler, to be honest, but I hope you don't mind that I shared what I've been up to the past while. I'm really proud and pleased and excited about the results. I know where things are, I know what I have, and I know that what I have is functional. I even went through the box of gifts and things I purchased recently, well, in the past few months actually. It was overstuffed, and it had things like napkins, as if I need more napkins, but I had bought some. Christmas gifts, such as this Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. It was not even open, so I opened it and loaded it with staples. I mean, look how small those staples are. Isn't that cute? I got this diamond glaze. It's dimensional. It's thick, so you can create dots or lines or shapes with this. I've never used it before, but I saw an artist using it, so that should be fun. It turns out the seed bead gel that I created, it completely dried out. I couldn't even get it out of the container, so I had to throw that away. I picked up this coloring book. This was the reason I went looking for my coloring, my pencil crayons. I mean, really fun stuff in here. But like I said, I'm not really confident with my pencil coloring skills. And I feel like if I start a project in here, I'd be, upset or dissatisfied, critical of my coloring skills. I thought about using watercolors, but I'm not confident about that at all either. So it sits here waiting to be used. What a shame, because it's so cute. I got my first set of dice. Woo! Aren't they pretty? And to go with the dice was this game, a solitaire dungeon diving pen and paper game. It has a lot of information about an RPG tabletop game that I should read through and start, because I'm doing it online, but it's not the same. I have a lot of learning to do, so this is going to be very helpful. And now for my art journal project. I'm going to use this traveler's journal. I'm using a blank page insert as my art journal these days. I've done a few projects, and each of these are videos on my YouTube channel. I'm really enjoying this size. This one, the paint was sticking together and tearing up the paper, so I found my box of thrifted overhead projector film, which is like a sheet of acetate, but it's sticking to the acetate. So I'm also glad I found my collection of wax paper and parchment paper. So I'll replace this with wax paper to prevent that sticking. This is the latest video on my channel, and I'll be working here today. I want to do some scribble journaling, but as I said earlier, I'm going to forego using this pencil. It's too dark. It'll leave the marks that the writing I make is too dark, and it shows up even after a layer of gesso. So I'm going to use a more neutral color that will, be easily covered with the layer of gesso I'm going to put on here. It's going to cover the bleed through and give me a good surface, I think, to do the watercoloring. So I'm going to get started. I hope that everyone is comfortable or okay with the change of format where I don't talk or do a voiceover anymore. I think I've talked enough already. So I'm gonna let the music play while I do some creative work. So I thought I'd come in at the end here and give my thoughts on how this project came together, or how it worked for me, or how it didn't work. I really wanted to have a watercolor effect on this page. I wanted to have the colors bleed out and fade away and blend together to create new colors, but it wasn't reacting well to the texture on the page, firstly, and secondly, it did not like gesso. Of course it didn't like gesso, it's watercolors. It reacts differently to raw paper compared to gesso. So I scrapped the watercolor idea and switched to acrylic paint, and I tried to make the acrylic paint behave like watercolors, and I didn't like the texture I was getting, I didn't like the effect it was giving, so I decided to just use acrylic paint to block out some shapes. I wanted to add some fun details with these botanicals, but really I should have just drawn my own. The stamping, I don't stamp very often, so anyway, it was mixed results there. These paint pens are, I bought them about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and they disappeared into my stash. So it's my first time using them. I was unsteady. I didn't like how inconsistent my line work was. It's just going to take some practice, I feel. And then I tried to pull the page together by markmaking and doodling. I think it was an okay attempt. I mean, it certainly had ugly layers all the way through. I don't know what else I could have done to improve this project. Like I said, it's not my most favorite piece I've made, but I learned a lot, and I like the colors. The colors are nice and bright. So I got that going for me, which is nice. If you made it to the end here, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time and attention and sharing part of your day with me. I hope everyone is doing well, and if there's anything that you think I could have done to make it a little better or save this project, please go ahead and leave me a comment down in the section below. So that's it for me today. I'd like to thank you again for watching, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.